Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, everybody. Anybody here? Do you remember the Pink Floyd song? Is there anybody out there? And today I'm going to tell you another fairy tale. Hola Mayra Camacho, hoy es en inglés. I have to practice my English, Mayra, and Nancy knows that. Nancy, thank you so much for sending me that video of the Chilean guy, Freire. I don't remember his name. He's amazing. And today I'm going to tell you another fairy tale. Omar Martínez. Hoy es en inglés, muchacho, ya se fue. I'm going to put in my Reiki. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to talk about today is very, very interesting. And I'm going to start for the end of the story. Cheers, salud. This is my last glass of kombucha. I have to make more. Today, a friend of mine, a beautiful woman came. She's a beautiful soul, a beautiful woman. And I helped her to do something that I didn't know how meaningful was for her career. And everything started, let me see, over a year ago. When we met somewhere, she invited me to a program. And at the end of the program, she told me, Carlos, this producer and this other producer, they asked me for sexual favors to help me. I wanted to die. Later on, another one wanted to steal something from her. And she told me months later that this guy also asked her, I don't know, to sleep with her or something like that. I was really disgusted. So anyway, I helped her today. She was so thankful that I thank God that I had a not perfect, but a very good control of my sexual energies. Because in the process, I could have fallen on this sexual liberation that people talks about. And I have an affair with her. Nobody knows, but I know. That's the most important thing. I know, and I know it's not along my behavior. There are many things that we have to consider. We have to consider the energy attachment, that the pain of a woman that is looking for connection, and men just take advantage of them. And I analyze in my practice, most of the problem people have are related to the unhealthy use of the sexual energy. If you are married, if you have a romantic partner and you enjoy making love, hallelujah. But what is not healthy is to abuse of the sexual energy. So the reason I am doing this is because a friend of mine, I think on Saturday, we were talking about these subjects. And she told me, she's from Mexico, and she said, Carlos, you need to talk about that and teach men how to control the sexual energy. And she said, you are the only man that I know that controls his sexual energy. I said, oh my God. I have several friends. Well, they are most of them in the meditation group, the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. And I remember when I was a teenager, I have high sexual energies, but I never went to any of those routes that looking for women to have sex when I was a teenager. And I started meditating when I was 18, and all of a sudden, without even asking for that, without knowing, in the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, they give you these meditation techniques, especially this pranayama, which is very deep, called Kriya Yoga. But the first side effects that I experienced, that I was able to transmute my sexual energy in mental energy, in physical energy, and I don't have this compulsion to start thinking, having sexual fantasies anymore. And that was wonderful. I remember they were the best years of my life, between 18 and 27 when I got married. So I got married, so the situation is different. However, Paramahansa Yogananda has a spiritual master or guru. Remember, guru comes from the Sanskrit roots. Guru means darkness, and ru, the dispeller. So a guru is a spiritual master that eliminates the darkness from the disciple. So his guru was Swami Sri Yukteswar. But this Swami Sri Yukteswar had a guru who was a married man. So what happened? In the 1800, in the last century, there was this great yogi called Mahavatar Babaji who came and met Swami Sri Yukteswar, was his disciple on another life, and told him, teach this pranayama, this Kriya Yoga, to all sincere seekers, especially family men, so they will know that they can find God even if they have the duties of the family men. And the duties includes work. Hi goddess, how are you? Includes to work, includes to have children, includes whatever needs to be done when you are a married man. And after all these wonderful years, I was totally free from sexual compulsions. That means I didn't even have the obsession like most of my schoolmates in university, or the ones who were my high school mates, to be talking just nothing but about women and having sex and changing women to have sex. I didn't have that, because I control my energies from the inside out, not just with the mind. And then I was married for 27 years, I dated a woman, and then right now I don't even want to date again unless an angel comes straight from heaven and God tells me, yes, you have to be with that woman. That is going to be a little difficult. I am very picky now. But my point is this. As I said again, when I was analyzing the clients that come to see me, most of them have down the line in the root causes of their challenges, very deep challenges with sexuality, for not using sexual energies in the right way. All right, let me see. Everybody speaks Spanish here. I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about this subject on Thursday. Chris, hola Chris. ¿Cómo les va? Alejandra, estás aquí. Todos hablan español, pero hoy es en inglés. Hi, Clau, Nancy, Goddess, Mayra, etc. So, voy a hablar de este tema el jueves. So, what is my point? I don't need to tell you the details. I want you to see in your life when sexuality was really more a problem than an enjoyment. And I will tell you a story, a fairy tale. Humankind goes to 24,000 cycles of evolution, the higher spiritual ages and the very low of Kali Yuga. And we are just in the ascendant part, I think it's called Dwapara Yuga, where people are understanding spirituality. And this is why we are all here. However, in the higher ages, I read a book that I know 100. Okay, listen, I'm going to just check if what I'm going to say is true. I'm going to ask, what I read in this book is true. It's a big yes. So in the highest ages, I don't remember the name, human beings were so in tune with our higher self, with the spirituality, with God, that human beings didn't need to procreate through sexuality. They were able to make a baby from their willpower with the spiritual developed power because of the high spiritual evolution. So what does it mean? There wasn't any compulsion and all the problems that we have in this world with sexuality. There is sexual abuse, there is sexual traffic, human trafficking, there is so many problems in couples that they are cheating, and everything comes down to the control of the sexual energy. And then from the higher ages, something happened. That's the way the evolution of the human being is. We went down, 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 and we start using sexuality again. And the problem is not in reality using our sexuality, it's use it in the wrong way. I'm not going, you don't need to answer, but I want, if somebody here had never had any problem with the sexuality, with a romantic relationship ever in their life, tell me here. I cannot say that because I did have two. And they are serious problems. So, one of the missions that I have in this world is educate men how to control sexuality. And let me read you this. I know that I have the permission of this person, but let me read you this that I got today. Oh, I turn off my phone. Well, I will turn it on. You see, I turn off my phone when I don't need it, like when I go to sleep. When I go to meditate, I don't need my phone. But this woman told me, because I was communicating with her, I said, I am talking about the perspective on sexual control of the sexual energy as a man. I don't know what happened with you women. And she told me, you know, with women it's the same. And she told me a couple of stories of women she knows. But she told me, with women is the same. For example, she told me, I know this woman, her husband was cheating, so she got back to her husband, started having affairs with other men. So it's a couple, married with children, the men have a romantic relationship with other women, and the woman too. Imagine the mess of the children, energetically, just energetically. So, sexual energy is very powerful because it's the seed of life, and originally was created to procreate. If you want to enjoy it, but enjoy it with your couple, not with every woman that crosses your sight, or every man that you meet at work, because always end up with a bad note. I was just talking to a friend today. I had a dream that I was talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger, the famous actor that was governor of California. And he was caught having an affair and children with one of the maids. At least I know 3 families that they told me that the fathers have a second family. And after decades, the woman knew the real wife, the first wife, and it was a mess, divorce, and all those things. I remember a friend of mine from Argentina told me, hey, I can hardly take care of a woman. Why on earth I'm going to want to have two? So, the problem is just a control. For all the men out there, and for you women, to teach your men, but most of all to teach our children. To teach our children, because we are over this. I am older than all of you. But we need to teach our children the control of the sexual energy. For example, some simple methods for men. I remember I told this method to this client that I'm having now. When this urge, obsession to have sex, especially with women that are not our wife or romantic partner, to breathe deeply 20 times, very deeply. With a double breathing is even better. You will see that the sexual energy accumulated on the sexual organs goes to the whole body, and that goes away. This is one way. The other that I learned is to have a cold shower, and for some reason put a cold shower in the armpits, in the sexual organs. That dissipates that energy. But the most important thing is, this is what we have to control, because everything starts here. Thoughts creates feelings. If I am walking around and I see a beautiful woman and I start having romantic or sexual thoughts, of course I'm going to be aroused. But everything started here. But if men learn to see women like a manifestation of God, think, that could be my mother, that could be my sister, that could be my daughter. I remember a friend of mine, she had breast cancer and developing inflammatory breast cancer because traumatic romantic relationships. And one of them was that she was working in a newspaper, and they gave her to investigate this case where this man had 3 daughters and the father was having sex with the 3 daughters. She said when she read the report, she told me, Carlos, something broke in my stomach. And then the cancer came back with rage and became inflammatory breast cancer. So she went to a store here in America, I think it's called Sesión. It's a very popular store. And a man started hitting on her. And she went straight to the man and said, would you like this to be done, to say this unrespectful words with sexual content to your daughters? And the man stopped in his track and said, I never thought about it. I'm sorry, I apologize. No, I don't like my daughters to be treated like that. What's the deal? You're a man, you have daughters, and you are going to be doing this crap to a woman that you find there. So it requires a little common sense. So everything starts here. If you want to enjoy making love, go and study tantric sex, where the man sees in the woman the divinity and make love to the divinity that dwells in that body, where the woman says the man like the divinity and makes love to the divinity that dwells in that body. This is much better. A friend of mine, I remember who is it, was with Sting, the famous singer, and met him and said, how on earth do you do to be married to the same woman for over 30, 40 years? And the man asked, tantric sex. Okay, you want to enjoy sex with your woman? You want to get your couple back? And all the fire and all the nice things? Practice tantric sex. This is a healthy way to enjoy sexuality. It's always recommended moderation. I remember when I was working in the cancer clinic, this woman told me, she was a nurse, oh, we have sex with my boyfriend every day. I said, oh my God. Takes a lot of energy from men. Hmm? The sperm has a lot of energy. If we waste that energy, guess what? We men have no mental energy. And that is reflected in our body, and we start having physical problems. I will read you a book. What is it? Can I find it? Okay. All right, I found it. I have 2 of these books. I used to have 3. I give one away. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Everybody goes to read this book, especially the internet marketers, because everybody wants to be rich. But the big surprise is the chapter number 9. If I don't, I didn't forget, I think it's chapter is either 9 or 10. No, 11. The mystery, okay, I'm going to read you all the chapters to see. The power of thought, desire, the starting point of all achievement, faith, visualization and believing in the attainment of desire, autosuggestion, the medium for influencing the subconscious mind, specialized knowledge, personal experiences or observations, imagination, the workshop of the mind, organized planning, the crystallization of desire into action, decision, the mastery of procrastination, persistence, the sustained effort necessary to induce faith, power of the mastermind, the driving force. So you think that this is a book to make money. And the chapter 11, the mystery of sex transmutation. So I remember this chapter very well, 205, chapter 11, the mystery of sex transmutation. So, okay. Look at this. The men of greatest achievement are those with highly developed sex natures, men who have learned the art of sex transmutation. And I will tell you, since I was a kid, I have tons of sexual energy, but I have the blessings to receive these techniques of meditation that helped me to transmute my sexual energy when I was 18, 19. And still I can do it. But listen, the men of greatest achievement are those with highly developed sex nature, men who have learned the art of sex transmutation. And the transmutation means to change the sexual energy in mental energy. One way is this breathing, but the most powerful is the practice of pranayamas or meditation techniques. 2. The men who have accumulated great fortunes and achieve outstanding recognition in literature, art, industry, architecture, and the professions were motivated by the influence of a woman, but they control their sexual energy. Okay, there is another thing here. The 10 mind stimuli. I am reading randomly. The desire for sex expression. 1. 2. Love. 3. A burning desire for fame, power, financial gain, money. Okay. Music. 4. 5. Friendship between either those of the same sex or those with the opposite sex. 90% of my friends, or 80, are women. 6. A mastermind alliance based upon the harmony of two or more people who ally themselves for spiritual or temporal advancement. A mastermind means a group of people that get together to accomplish something, to better each other, to help each other in business, in spirituality, like we are doing here, right? Love the book, Marx. I do that too. And the other goddess have many more bookmarks and all these things. Okay, anyway. 7. Mutuals, I don't know this. Mutual suffering such as that experienced by people who are persecuted. Autosuggestion, fear, okay. Genius is developed through the sixth sense. So, read this book, Think and Grow Rich. So, in summary, what he said is, men start achieving success over 50 when they realize that they have to control their sexual energy. If men keep using the sexual energy without discrimination over 50, you can see it in your lives. They are not healthy. They have mental problems. They have low mental energy. They have tons of physical problems. And control of the sexual energy doesn't mean not to use the sexual energy. If you are married and you want to enjoy making love, hallelujah. Means control. That the sexual energy doesn't control you. You control and do what you want to do. So, la Giri Mahashaya, Paramahansa Yogananda, his guru, Swami Sri Yukteswar, his guru, Lahiri Mahashaya, was given this sacred technique of Kriya Yoga to give it to the world, to married men, so we can live a deep spiritual life being in a family. Okay, during meditation. Okay, for example, if I am meditating, I am telling you my own experience, and I have romantic thoughts, the thought of a beautiful woman cross to my mind, and I have sexual desires, the attention goes to the trash, to the drains, and then the restlessness is so big that I cannot meditate anymore. And all this peace, all that bliss that I was feeling in deep meditation disappears. So we need to have a great control of the sexual energy. If we want to meditate lately. People tell me I cannot meditate. Why you cannot meditate? First of all, your mind has the thoughts like the dry leaves in autumn blown by the wind. Because you don't do the things one at a time, and you are always running, and you cannot sit down in silence. So we need to calm down, to do one thing at a time. Don't watch the news. Do healthy things in life. Lahiri, okay, I told you all the things that I wanted to tell you. It's 6:29. If you have any question, let me know. I'm going to see if there is, wow, not even one. Isaías. Hola Isaías. Isaías is my student. How are you doing? I would like to talk to you. So it's weird because I am doing these videos in English, and except on YouTube, in Facebook, everybody speaks Spanish. So I don't know what to do. I should do everything in Spanish, but I need to practice my English. All right. Hola Cecilia, ¿cómo te va? Voy a hablar de este tema el jueves. So let's start the meditation. It's 6:30 o'clock. Good timing. We sit down with the spine straight, the hands on the junction of the thighs and and waist. And we take a deep breath and tense the whole body from head to toes 3 times. We say a prayer. Today I was talking to a woman and she said, when I heard you saying don't use the word universe as a synonym of God, I said, you are the second person I know in this planet that has the same feeling and the same understanding. I insist again, using the word universe is not right, because the universe is the creation of the unmanifested spirit. And in the universe there is everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Calling upon the universe, you're going to call anything, and most likely you're going to call evil entities, dark spirits. Before I forget, we visualize that all of us are surrounded by a blue bubble of protective energy, and inside of that bubble there is a white light that not only protects us but is healing us. And we are all in a crystal room, huge room, high ceilings, which is also an energy protecting us. And we call God and any spiritual being. I suggest to call spiritual beings that we know, like Jesus, Paramahansa Yogananda, beings that are real, not just anyone that we don't know. And we are going to invite all the human beings of the light. There are many more than the human beings from the dark, to participate in spirit of our meditation and healing session. And we are all together, all of you, myself, join in this light. We make a prayer. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, saints and sages of our religions, we bow to you all. We come to thee to sit at thy feet of omnipresence, to receive thy blessings, thy protection and thy guidance, and offer thee all the love of our hearts. We are going to practice a breathing exercise. We breathe to the count of 6, hold the breath to the count of 6, and release it to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever you can count. We hold 3, 4, 5, 6. We release 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do it on our own for a couple of minutes. You count to any number that is comfortable for you. It could be 3, 5, 8, 10, whatever is comfortable for you. We hold it to the same count, and we release the air to the same count. Now we are going to, we always have the eyes gently lift to the Christ consciousness, the point between the eyebrows. And we're going to watch the breath without forcing, just watching in its natural flow, how the air comes in and out the lungs. We are going to add the mental repetition of the words, the Sanskrit words Hong So. When we inhale, we mentally pronounce or say Hong, H-O-N-G. And when we exhale, mentally repeat So, S-A-W, that in Sanskrit means I am Him, I am God. Remembering, affirming, and reclaiming our divine nature. Remember, we are following the breath with the eyes gently lift to the Christ consciousness. We are mentally repeating the Sanskrit words Hong So, Hong in the inhalation, during the inhalation, So during the exhalation. That means I am Him, I am God. Now we are going to practice a light pranayama. When we inhale, we visualize that there is a sphere of white light entering the base of the spine, the root chakra, and that light goes up the spine like a hollow tube, going through all the chakras, energizing the spine, cleansing our chakras, all the way up to the medulla oblongata, and from there to the spiritual eye in front and the front forehead. And when we exhale, that sphere of energy goes back from the spiritual eye, back to the medulla oblongata, and down the spine to the first chakra, always with the eyes lifted to the point between the eyebrows, without forcing the breath, so we accommodate the timing of the visualization to the natural flow of the breath. When we inhale, the sphere of energy goes up from the root chakra to the spiritual eye, up the spine. And when we exhale, from the spiritual eye, back to the medulla oblongata, the neck, and down the spine to the first chakra, up and down, until we feel the energy flowing up and down the spine. Remember that we need to strive to meditate at least 30 minutes every morning and every afternoon. We finish our meditation with a prayer, thanking God for this moment of peace, being together, thanking that we have the internet to do these meditations. This is the moment to talk to God, to offer our love, to ask for something that is important for us, to fix a broken relationship with a friend, a family member, for any physical, mental, emotional challenge we are going through, to give us the strength to know what we can change that usually is us, and to know what we cannot change, which is others or circumstances in life, like this crisis. However, we can help enormously to start diminishing the toxic effects of this global darkness by our daily meditations. Next week, my friend Gian Girardi will give a talk. We're going to do it in Spanish and in English, 2 different days, of the spiritual scale of evolution, and we will see if we get just to 500, where we really feel love. Love is the absence of fear. If we say, oh, I have all the love of the world, I love everybody, but we are scared to death of this silly virus that is not what it was portrayed, we don't have love. When we really have love, we don't have fear. If we get to the state, the energy calibration of love, our meditations will counteract the toxic energy of thousands of people. We are going to go through all those numbers to give us an incentive to meditate every morning and evening. We are going to start the healing session. Let's repeat after me in loud voice. All the things with a consciousness that we are talking to these shadows, dark energies that we may have. It doesn't matter if we know it or not. These entities that are affecting us, we are making this statement very strong and clear in a kind way, however. Let's repeat after me. All the things toxic, dark, and negative that ever came into me before my birth, after my birth, and until now, all those things must leave me now and return to where they came from. They don't belong to me. And so it is. Lay down, for the new ones, lay down on a bed comfortably with the arms on the side, fingers open, not touching the legs, legs straight, and make a healing intention. For example, I want to feel real love in my life. I want to open my heart. I don't want this stubborn back pain. I don't want this headache. Whatever health condition we may be going through. But also let's ask for the wisdom to know what is the root cause of all this. If I have a chronic pain, there is a very good chance that we are entertaining toxic emotions or toxic thoughts, negative thoughts. So let's ask God to give us the wisdom to know what are the root causes, and then we will know what to do to eliminate them. So we ask, for example, I don't want this uncomfortable feeling in my stomach or my solar plexus or my chest, the heart chakra, anymore. And I want the root cause of that to be removed. Those are the energy blockages. And we start right now. Just keep being relaxed. I'm going to make an announcement. On August 1st, I'm going to have my next Reiki 1 training. It's going to be a very special one because what I'm going to teach, I'm going to go deep, is on the root causes of this crisis, which are all these deep levels of energy blockages. I already wrote it. I think I have 7 or 8 pages to add to the manual. I want to invite you, Goddess, because this is the first time that I'm going to do it online for people who live far away. You, Nancy, you are invited. And I'm going to invite Reiki practitioners that I don't even know, because what I'm going to teach is crucial that we Reiki practitioners know to be able to do deeper healing. Cloud, of course meditation helps to control bad temper in people. I am an example. I didn't have bad temper, but I used to get upset when the things did. Okay, let me see, which way should I go? So let's do it this way. When the things didn't go my way. Because my father used to get upset, so we kids copy that. And when I started meditating, my mood changed so much that my mother was so thankful and surprised. And I was surprised, because when you meditate, a fraction of a second before, first of all, you carry this peace during the day. So we need to meditate until we feel the peace. When we feel that the peace, there is no way we can get upset. And I told some examples. I think I did a video I didn't publish yet. On Saturday or Sunday, I went hiking. I saw a creek. I went down the hill to the creek, and when I approached the water, I feel some itchy feeling on the bottom of my leg. I see poison ivy, poison oak. What a normal person would do? Start being worried, the heart beating faster, and running away to see a doctor to get the medication, the cortisone. I just didn't even react. I said, okay, must be some poison or some chemical that is not accepted by the body. I put water, I rub my skin on the side of my leg and the back where I felt the itching. And I reasoning, if I put water, that chemical will dissolve and eventually dilute, and it's not going to do anything to me. I kept doing it for a minute, then I took my shoe, I put my foot on the water, and I kept doing it, and guess what? There was a tiny itchy feeling that I felt for another hour, and nothing happened. Why? Because you are calm from the inside out, so things don't bother you. About a month, 2 months ago, I went to the beach. I took the kombucha in a container who had a straw. I left it closed. I went to the beach. When I came back, I opened, it was warm, and it blew, and all the kombucha started coming out like a jet, like when you shake Coca-Cola or one of these sodas. It was shooting all over my car. I was laughing. But that comes because we are at peace inside because of the daily meditation. So definitely meditation control the bad temper. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I am an example. I used to blow up for little things. So anyway, if you know anybody that is not my student, I am doing an exemption and lives far away from Los Angeles, you can take it. And I'm inviting my Reiki 1 students that came from Northern California, from Oregon. You, Nancy, you're in Vegas. I would love, Nancy, you to join online. And tomorrow, Chris Zavala from Rio Cuarto, Argentina, is a woman that I met online. I talked to her for over an hour. We had an amazing conversation. She's a Reiki practitioner. She practiced Chinese medicine, Qigong, and some other things that I don't remember, and practice Hatha Yoga and teaches Hatha Yoga. So we are going to have an amazing conversation, and I believe she will be regular on the Spanish conversations tomorrow at 1 p.m. And at 4 p.m., I forgot to announce that. Guess who is coming at 4 p.m.? Let me see. Oh no, this is another folder. Where is it? Here. Folletos, Jorge. I sold myself. Yes, Jorge Brioso, my friend. We have been friends for, okay, I'm going to be here in the middle. We have been friends for 40 years. He's an amazing man. And at 4 p.m., he will continue with these empowering workshops that he has been doing for 2 times through the reconnection with the divinity, personal and group reconnection. So I invite you for those 2 activities at 1 p.m. with Chris Zavala and at 4 p.m. with Jorgito Brioso. My very good friends. Jorge used to live here in Los Angeles, so he helped me a lot. He's a great healer. And coming back to our subject today, you have no idea, and tell your men, your friends, males, you have no idea how beautiful is the feeling for a man to be free of the compulsion of sex. I am telling you straightforward, no regrets. The great feeling that the body, the mind, the spirit feels when we feel free from the compulsive obsession of sex. Because we have the choice to live a healthy life, a healthy activities. And everything starts with the control. So we have the spiritual moral obligation to teach our children. I remember a few months ago, my son, he's 19, you remember the pictures, my son is taller than me, he told me, I went with some friends and blah blah, they had marijuana, I didn't take, I said no thank you, and I was trying to teach him about sexuality. Don't worry that, I'm not into that. In my life, I'm telling you, I never made love until after I got married. And I don't regret a thing, because I live a healthy life and I could have a healthy relationship with my wife. That was phenomenal. So we should teach those values to people. Those things, that the free sexuality and that everything goes, it's not true. That's a belief that makes us more attached to this duality of the material world and make us more distant from spirituality. We can have a healthy sexual life when we are with our couple, ideally married, practice self-control and moderation, and we can have a happy life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I see you tomorrow at 1 and 1 p.m. Los Angeles, which is 3 p.m. Mexico, 10 p.m. Spain, and 4 p.m. Los Angeles, 6 p.m. Mexico, and 8 p.m. Argentina. 4 plus 4, 8. Yes. Good night, everyone. Bye, everybody. How interesting.